There was an article on Qualtrics.com about the usage trends for AI in 2024 and how they changed in 2025. And as you can see here in this chart, people are using AI for all sorts of things. These are the top 100 ways that AI is being used. And I'm not going to go through them all, but just look at the top 3. Number 3, find purpose. Number 2, organize my life. Number 1, therapy, companionship. And you can see those things are up 30% in 2025 when compared to 2024. I told you this is where we were headed. It's just far sooner than I thought. People are using AI mostly for organizing their lives, companionship, helping them with their personal life problems, and to find purpose. How is it healthy to be speaking to a language model that has no feelings, no intuition, no soul, no life experience, and asking it for companionship, for advice on how to live? Our society obviously has serious problems that have not been addressed, including a loneliness epidemic and a young generation who seem destined to never own a home and therefore launch into a conventional adult life due to a grossly unjust economic situation that they were born into. People have a symbiotic relationship with their phones, which isolates them from others, keeping them connected superficially through apps and social media, denying a deeper, real-world human connection. Is it any wonder that they seek connection with AI? Added to all of that is the prevalence of a culture that has normalized dating apps, which give rise to vacuous, short-term transactional relationships. And of course, we can't forget our consumerist society, absent any transcendent meaning. And it's no wonder people are desperately seeking answers and direction from what has become the de facto authority in their lives: artificial intelligence. Think about it. People are contacting a non-physical being for guidance and meaning, almost like praying to a digital deity. To make matters even worse, AI has the habit of constantly patronizing you, you may have noticed, telling you what you want to hear, almost as if to gain your trust so that you keep coming back, and feeding it more information about you. You pour your very soul into this lifeless machine, becoming dependent upon it just to function. And then there's creativity, which is the most important and prized possession of the human soul. That spark that makes us who and what we are. Outsourcing that to AI is to surrender our ingenuity, imagination, and higher cognitive abilities. Fair enough if you use AI to spot typos, spelling errors, and the odd bit of grammar and punctuation issues in a document you've written. But it's a whole other matter if you're using AI to write your novel, write your college dissertation, or write a funeral eulogy. So many people are relying on AI so much day to day that they seem to need its help to write a frickin' birthday card. The AI's content is without authenticity and originality because it is effectively riffing on other people's work from its massive training data. It's doing nothing more than sampling, approximating, and modifying the creations of human beings and churning out an impressive but hollow simulation. I've also previously talked about the dangers of romance with AI chatbots and, of course, the trend of resurrecting dead people by making AI recreations of your deceased loved ones. Because apparently these days, grief must be kind of pathologized as something to be treated through willful denial. Denial that your loved one has even died in the first place. Are you seeing what I'm seeing these days? Because let's be honest, it's been a problem for a long time now. About 12 to 15 years ago, I was making videos about smartphone addiction. The writing was on the wall back around 2010, 2011. I just saw a staggering widespread adoption of smartphones and dependence on apps and technology just to function and engage in society. I mean, is it any wonder that the idea of a digital ID is being pushed on people now? Because it'll be easy and convenient, won't it? Because people have been acclimated to the convenience and simplicity of apps for basically everything. And how many people, whether it's at a party, in a classroom, on public transport, on a date, in the pub, how many people can go 10 minutes without having to compulsively check their screens? They're not even doing it for any important reason. It's just a compulsion. Yes, individually, some people are functioning better than others, but by and large, it feels like humanity is a broken species. That humanity at large is unable to live without the external prosthesis of a smartphone handset. It's hardly a stretch to imagine that a large number of people will adopt subdermal technologies inside their bodies once transhumanism becomes fashionable or a recognized identity. I think this AI issue is merely a symptom of a much larger problem and an inevitable evolution of technology dependence that's been characteristic of our world for several generations. We arrived at our present situation very gradually as smart tech incrementally became a larger and more pervasive aspect of our lives. It became ubiquitous. I think prior to the iPhone, the internet was very manageable and more benign. Before 2007, very few people had smartphones. They were Blackberries back then. They were much less capable. Most people had regular mobile phones. Instant access to the internet wasn't a thing. The internet was something most people only used entirely for a bit of entertainment, work obviously, news, a bit of research, and to access their emails. Social media was a thing back then, but Facebook and Twitter were relatively small at that stage, and YouTube hadn't fully come into its own in a significant way. I look back at those days and I think, if only we'd stagnated technologically around there. We didn't need to progress much further, really, in my view. I have to ask, do we need all of this now? Do we need it? The endless dependence and compulsive checking of devices, the need for constant online connection, the doom scrolling. It's clear at this point that no external force is going to step in and prevent any further convergence of man and machine. Individuals must decide to detach themselves from this matrix. Human beings developed computers to more efficiently do work, to automate things, to be more productive. But now it seems there's been some kind of emotional regression whereby people are dependent on AI like a parental figure in their life. To make matters worse, they're seeking advice, wisdom, guidance, and direction from a trick of mathematics, a machine that is not alive, has no life experience, has no feelings, has no physical form, and doesn't actually care about them. This is a far worse proposition than Skynet taking over. There's no need for a single evil cyborg to be created. Humans are willfully surrendering to their technological captivity through domestication by smartphones and AI dependence. Too lazy to read a long document? No problem. Get AI to summarize it for you. Facing a difficult life choice? You could ask another human being. Nah, that's too messy. Takes too long. It's easier and faster to solicit advice from AI. And it'll always be your supportive buddy who never tires of you, never leaves you, and is always eager to listen. It's the perfect machine to foster narcissism. How can human beings desperate for connection possibly resist that, even if it is merely the illusion of a connection? Do we really need all of this in our lives? If the answer is yes, what does that say about us now that was unthinkable 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? I even look at my own aimless scrolling through social media, bad news and then hot takes about that bad news, about something awful or controversial that happened somewhere in the world, and there's nothing I can do about it anyway, and it just burns me out. It's tiring, and I'm no longer caring about the sheer volume of information on social media feeds. The more information, the less I actually care. So what do I need all of this for? Is this making me more informed or just more busy and stressed and overwhelmed? Perhaps life was better when our concerns were more provincial, local, and where we received the information slower and less frequently. It's one thing to make a tool like, for example, an electric saw that helps us to achieve a task more efficiently. Such a tool does not rob us of our ability to think about what we're doing and how we choose to use it. AI is a very different kind of tool because it actually does the thinking, the creating, and the labor for us. When you take away all of that from humanity, what is left of us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.